How you guys doing? It's Derek here, and I just want to share a little something with you today. Something I was reading, and it has to do with success. Success. What is success, and what does it mean to you? Well, I was reading something by Vince Lombardi, and what Vince Lombardi said is the difference between successful people and others is not the lack of knowledge or the lack of strength, but the lack of will. And I like that because I'm inclined to agree with it. So, what does he mean by that? You know, I had to ponder that for a moment. What does Vince Lombardi mean when he says that the difference between successful people is not the lack of, in others, is not the lack of knowledge or the lack of strength, but the lack of will? Well, I had to think about that and compare it to my walk with the success goals that I set for myself. You know, I've made a commitment to myself, a long time ago, and this walk has been a walk that has been in the making for many years. I haven't totally arrived at the success commitment that I made to myself, but I've come quite a distance. And how did I get this far? Sometimes I have to ask myself. And when I think about what he said, it's my will. And my will wasn't always this strong. I have a strong will to get to where I want to be. And on this path, I've been knocked down, I've fallen down, I've come to roadblocks sometimes where I just feel like I just want to throw my hands and give up. But why didn't I? Why didn't I? Because in the beginning, in the very beginning, a seed was planted in me. And I sort of discovered what my purpose is. And that seed was planted in me, and I watered that seed. I watered that seed with positive information. I watered that seed with positive people. I watered that seed with sacrifice. And what I mean by that is, and that's something that a lot of people don't talk about when they're talking about achieving success, is the sacrifice it takes. And it does take sacrifice. Sometimes you have to separate yourself from people who just aren't going anywhere. Some people who have front row seat in our lives need to be in the back seat, and that's a difficult choice to make for a lot of people, but sometimes that's the choice you have to make in order to get to where you want to be. And you sometimes have to cut out things that you enjoy doing that is a deterrent or distraction to the commitment that you make to yourself. And for me, moving on for a minute, I want to talk about that word commitment, because I use that word a lot, commitment. And a lot of people say, yep, on the road to success, you have to set little goals, and you have to write down your goals and all of these things, and that's fine. I don't disagree with that. But for me, I like to set commitments. I hold commitments in more high esteem than I do goals. For me, now you guys might be different. You guys might set goals and you keep them and you stick to them, and that God bless you. But for me, when I call something a goal or I set a goal, to me it's like a New Year's resolution. If I keep it and do it, fine. But if I don't, I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. So that doesn't work for me. But if I substitute goal and call it a commitment, for me that works. That works for me, because commitments are something I think are very important. It's something that I have to do, and if I don't keep my commitment, I feel like I failed in some way, and I can't allow that to happen. And if I do fail for some reason, I'm going to get back up and ensure that I see it through. So what I do is I set commitments for myself. We set these success on the road to success. We all have our success commitments that we've made to ourselves. We all have this place where we want to be, where we want to go, where we want to see ourselves in maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, right? And they're way up here. A lot of times they're way up here. What I'm suggesting is that we set small commitments to ourselves that leads to the bigger goal, and eventually we'll get there. Because sometimes on the road to success, you can get worn out. The pitfalls, sometimes people, sometimes things. Sometimes finances get in the way, and it can just wear you out to the point where you just want to throw up your hands and give up. But what I'm suggesting is that you strengthen your will by feeding it positive information, by surrounding yourselves with positive people who are going somewhere, people who support you. They don't have to be doing the same thing that you're doing, but you're like on a ship rowing in the same direction. You know, you all have goals, and you're working on finding your purpose if you don't know what it is already. You know, and you're going somewhere. These are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. And you want to set small commitments for yourself on that road, things that are achievable, you know, and you reach small successes, piece by piece by piece. And by doing that, what you're doing is strengthening your will to the point where your will becomes more powerful than your physical strength. So sometimes when you feel like giving up, your will won't allow you to, because it's stronger than your physical strength. It's stronger than your mental strength. It's stronger than the knowledge that you believe you have. You know, and that's what I've discovered about myself, is that once I built my will to a point where I was going to not allow anything to stand in my way, I started seeing some of my success commitments I made to myself being chopped down, to where now I'm closer to my success goal than ever before. And that's how powerful your will can be. Your will won't allow you to quit. Your will won't allow you to give up. You know, and sometimes you can have all the knowledge in the world, all the education in the world, okay? But if your will isn't stronger than that, if you don't have the will to see yourself through and to not take yourself so seriously, what I mean by that is not think you're so smart for your own good. There's always something you can learn, and your will teach you that. Your will will say to you, look here, you may know all of this, but you got a long way to go. You haven't reached there yet, so get up and make it happen. Every day it will tell you to get up. We got things to do. Let's make it happen, you know. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you about will. And until next time, I hope that you keep feeding your will. We'll keep feeding our will together. You know, we'll give positive information. We're surrounded with positive people who are going places. And we'll just keep feeding our eyes and our ears with the things that we need to get to where we want to be. Okay? Until then, God bless you. You guys take care, and leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Vince Lombardi's statement and about the term will, and what does it mean to you. You guys have a good day. All right, bye. It's Derek, and I'm out.